A very good day to everyone who will be watching this presentation. We as Group A4 will be presenting to you about the high employee turnover at GEC Marine Services Private Limited. This problem was identified by us after critically analyzing the data which we have gathered from internally. So, starting off, let me provide you a brief outline of the presentation that we will be carrying out. So, initially, I'll be providing you a background of the organization and what it does and what business are they in. And on the second stage, we'll be providing you the problem identification along with the significant analysis of the problem and justification through data. And on the third stage, we will be providing you an explanation of the significance of this problem towards the relevant stakeholders as well as for their customers along with the organization internal customers as well. And on the literature review, we will be critically analyzing the past records, rather past studies which has carried out with regards to this employee turnover. And on the last stage, we will be providing you a study framework which will reflect the causes of this problem, and we will try to inline this problem towards the existing studies. So starting off, I will be giving you a brief description about the GEC Marine Services Private Limited. So GSC Marine Services Private Limited is a ship supply services company which comes under the umbrella of GEC Group of companies. So it has been started way back in 1994, and they are providing ship supply services in all major ports in Sri Lanka, from Colombo to Galle to Hambantota and Trincomalee. And they are the current market leaders for ship supply services in the Galle port, Galle, Galle area, and they cater to more than 30% vessels passing Galle OPL, which is a hotspot for globally for carrying out ship supply services. And also the main services that they carry out ranges vary from the crew changes, rig moving operations, tug and barge operations, and offshore support, emergency medical evacuation, armed guard services, spare deliveries, provision supplies, and so on. So these wide variety of services are being catered to the vessel clients in their unique launch fleets, which has more than 12 launches under their name. And on the left hand side on the bottom, you could see their latest addition to their fleet, which is a tug Yevin. And this tug has a speciality. It can go towards at least also towards the main sea route and international waters and carry out emergency operations such as oil spill and so on. And on the right hand side on the bottom, you could see their clientele, variety of clients which has been scattered across the global, and a few of them are MOL, Royal Dutch Company, Kuwait Oil Tanker Company, and Chevron PLC. So moving on, under GSC Marine Services, they have three main hierarchies, starting from assistant manager and above, executive level category, and non-executive level category. So this problem which we have identified mainly focused on the boat crew of GEC Marine Services, which comes under the non-executive grade. So we have identified two key problems, rather two key trends. It was the increased employee turnover of the boat crew for the past few years, and also we have identified the decrease in satisfaction levels of the boat crew through the annual employee satisfaction survey, which is being carried out annually by the GEC Group of companies. So on the left hand side, in the chart, you could see even though there is a sharp increase of satisfaction levels in the year 2000, satisfaction levels were gradually going down from thereafter. And also on the right hand side, as you could see, the annual employee turnover has substantially increased in the year 2019 and 2020, so which has created a, 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 a very rather a, a very critical issue for GAC Marine Services, which needs to be addressed at earliest and to solve it immediately. So my colleague Kosala will provide you further explanation about this problem and its significance. Over to you, Kosala.
Thanks, Levin. Levin explained two significant problems of this major problem. They are decrease of employee satisfaction and increase of employee turnover with the company available data. If we plot this data into a line chart, we can see two trends like this. Here, customer satisfaction has been decreasing and employee turnover has been increasing over the last 2 years. This is an alarming situation to a company. There is one direction which supports this trend. It's the new recruits. You can see in the below table, the new recruitments have been increasing from 2017 to 2020. 2019 and 2020, it has been a radical improvement. This also increased the average turnaround time of a boat. Average turnaround time means the time taken to the boat to go and provide the service and return back. And if it is increasing, the company is incurring an additional cost. Not only that new recruitments and trainings will also create additional costs. What is the significance of solving this problem? The requirement of recruiting new employees comes when the old employees started to leave the company. But if we can keep them, they have more experience, they have more knowledge, more cultural adaptation. So by reducing the employee turnover, it can actually increase the average turnaround time that we discussed. If it is 15%, ultimately the overall operational KPI, boat efficiency, will also goes up by 5%. And significance of solving the problem in the context of stakeholders. The company has international customers in this business segment. If more and more new employees come, they can create delays as well as mistakes. So the company needs to improve their quality with low employee turnover and skilled employees. And another thing is the company need to increase its brand equity, which has already been continuously increasing. From then, they can sustain in the market leadership, which means the major market share in this business segment. When the company have major market share, more expansion will come and it will create more job opportunities from that. So the local Sri Lankan community will get the benefit. And also, this company is earning in dollars, foreign exchange. It is contributing to the country economy. If the businesses are high, more foreign exchange they will give to the economy and will lead to increase the GDP. Now let's discuss about the literature review of this problem. Over to you.
I'm Nishadi Ranasinghe, and I'm here to present the summary of literature. So as you all are already aware, our problem is high turnover rate at GAC Marine Services Private Limited. So in relation to the problem we have identified, we have searched on a wide array of literature and mainly through books and journals, and found out two factors that directly contributes to high turnover, that is job satisfaction and intentions to quit. So job satisfaction is the independent variable which I will be speaking of, and my colleague Naina Priya will be speaking of intentions to quit, which is the dependent variable. So moving on, like speaking of definitions to definitions of job satisfaction or dissatisfaction, Luthans 2011 explains that job satisfaction is a state of mind of the employee in relation to the job he or she performs. So this can either be positive or negative. And also Luthans 2011 broadly explains that employee job satisfaction is largely based on three factors, that is employees' perception or attitude towards the job, and the characteristics of the job, and whether the job is able to fulfill the desired requirements of the employee. So by the desired requirements of the employee, Luthans 2011 further explains that all employees look forward for a good pay and other benefits, and also they look for personal growth and career opportunities. Also they look for good organizational background and culture, good working environments, so on and so forth. So moving on to factors affecting job satisfaction. Now this is quite straightforward, as Alberg 2003 cited in Alam and Mohammed 2009 explains. There are few factors affecting job satisfaction. Those are the lack of involvement of employees in organizational decision making, and also the gap, having a higher gap between the employee and the top management will also significantly contribute for job satisfaction, and insufficient poor and other benefits, lack of recognition and appreciation, and also low job security, lack of opportunities for personal as well as career growth will largely affect job satisfaction of an employee. Moving on to the outcomes of job satisfaction or dissatisfaction, there are certain outcomes pinpointed by Luthans 2011 as well as Robbins and Kotler 2012. So considering those, it can be identified that, okay, when an employee is highly satisfied about his or her job, he or she will always make an additional effort to perform more, or basically to deliver more, so which will improve their productivity and their overall performance in the long run. So this can also be vice versa when the employee is not satisfied with their job, and also when the employee is satisfied about their job, he or she will always want to work more or report to work on a daily basis. This will largely decrease the absenteeism rate of the organization. And also in the opposite case, when an employee is not satisfied about his or her job, he or she will have a higher absenteeism rate and eventually lead to high turnover rate. So also, there is another key point which is being pinpointed by Robinson Contler 2012, that is customer satisfaction. Now, this is actually quite important because uh, because it is the employees that serve the customer. So, if an organization is intending to have higher number of satisfied customers, initially they will have to look at satisfying the employees, because it is the employees play the intermediate role in bridging the organization and the customers. So highly satisfied employees will always try to satisfy the customers to their best of ability, whereas it is the opposite case when the employees are not satisfied about their job. So moving on, I will hand it over to Nana Priya to speak of the dependent variable intentions to quit.
Thank you, Nishadi. Now we are moving into intention to quit. So when we talk about intention to quit, in 1993, Tet and Meyer defines this concept as a conscious and deliberate willfulness to observe and look into other alternatives in other organizations. So when it comes to intention, this intention to quit can be because of many reasons. It can be due to the work stress that you're having in your organization, the labor market conditions, expectations about alternative job opportunities, organizational commitments, and even the person's organization fit, the organization's culture can also trigger the intention to quit. So when we talk about the consequences, there can be positive and negative consequences from intention to quit. So looking at the positive side of it, the organization being able to attract new talents, new people, and new thinking into the organization and innovative ideas can be the positive side from it. But there is a negative side when people are leaving the organization. That is demotivation of existing staff, high cost in recruitment, the time consumption, and it can also hold this the business operations if any critical people starts leaving the organization. So that's how intention to quit can affect affect the organization. Thank you.
Thank you. With the clear analysis made on high employee turnover at Jack Marine Services, I will start. I'm Gaini Ratnasekar. I'm going to present you the study framework and conclude the presentation. As Nishadi and Naina Priya clearly explained you, we can identify there are two key variables of employee turnover as job satisfaction and intention to quit. Further, job satisfaction is an independent variable while intention to quit is a dependent variable. In our case, when we concern about the statistics, it clearly shows in slide number 4 that job satisfaction has drastically reduced from 2017 to 2020. And it has resulted in annual increase in annual turnover rate in all those 4 consecutive years. Therefore, we can find that there's a direct interconnection between job satisfaction and employee turnover. When the job satisfaction reduces, it increases the employee turnover rate. And once we concern about intention to quit, it shows that when job satisfaction reduces, the employee's interest on working with the team and giving service to the work team has reduced, and it also finally results in employee turnover. With that, I can conclude job satisfaction and intention to quit are two main key variables which determine the employee turnover rate. So in Jack Marine Services Private Limited, job satisfaction reduction and intention to quit increase has caused high employee turnover. So with that, I conclude our presentation, and here is our team members and the references which we used, and thank you.